Welcome to another chat with Graham Phillips. We've decided to put a series of Q&As on hot topics, and one of the most popular lifestyle changes that you'll see across social media is keto. And when you go on the ProLongevity program, you'll find a lot of parallels. So I'm interested to find out what's the difference between ProLongevity and keto. Graham, hi.
Hi, how are you?
You put me on to changing what I eat, a very customized program. So you're not a believer in fad diets, but talking of fad diets, keto seems all the rage. Good or bad? What's your thoughts in terms of how keto operates and what sort of parallels there are with ProLongevity that are beneficial?
So I'm not anti-keto. But it's becoming a cult, and I'm anti-cults of any sort. So keto is very low carb, and it tends to be high protein, medium fat, extremely low carb. And it has benefits for certain people. And I would say probably 10% of my clients, we go all the way to keto because they've got particularly physiological needs, and it suits their physiology and it benefits them. So I'm not anti-keto at all. I'm anti the cult that says you have to be in my keto cult. So the point about ProLongevity is it's individualized and it's personalized. So in your case, John, keto would have been completely irrelevant when your problem was sleep and probably alcohol. And we focus there. The whole point is it's taking a balanced scorecard approach, personalized to you, looking at a variety of things. How is your diet affecting you? What do you like to eat? What are your body's responses to the food that you eat? Where are you with exercise and stress and sleep? All these things come together. And I think what we tend to do, both politicians and in society generally, is we look for very simple answers to very complex questions, like Brexit, get Brexit done. Whichever way whichever side of the divide you are, it's far more complicated than that. And lifestyle medicine is multifactorial, personalized, and individualized, and that's the difference with ProLongevity. We find out for you which are the best options. Keto is just one of our tools, but it's by no means our preferred one.
Okay, so you're kind of positioning it as a pharmacist would. It's one of many potential prescriptions that can cater for lifestyle change.
Indeed.
Okay, so let's go slightly off piece, because right now, in terms of dietary advice, if I was to go to my GP, I would see a poster with the Eat Well guide. What do you think to that as a general direction for people?
Well, let's travel back in history a little time, maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, and remember how Marlboro cigarettes used to advertise, we're the brand that the majority of doctors smoke, so smoke Marlboro. What you need to understand is that much of this guidance is written by Public Health England for the food industry. And it's actually a very cynical attempt to make you think that a diet high in carbs, sugar, and particularly processed foods, which is where the industry makes its profit, is healthy. I can tell you it's the opposite of healthy. And my message is a really quite simple one in those circumstances. Eat real food. That means don't eat processed food. And the Eat Well plate, I'm afraid, is processed food. It's the opposite of good health advice.
Brilliant. And naturally, I think that's one of the things I've really enjoyed, is just being released from slavery on convenient processed food. And I also think it just tastes better and looks better.
No, I completely agree. I call it the tyranny of food. I'm reasonably slim now, but I was always the fat kid when I was a kid. And I remember up until I discovered this ProLongevity, I was starving for breakfast, starving for lunch, starving for dinner. And the fatter I got, the hungrier I got. And once I understood the physiology, the microbiome, and all the science comes together, I'm not hungry anymore. So I can go for 24 hours without eating, no problem at all. And I can eat what I want, when I want, and it doesn't anymore disrupt my days.
Finally, just the moving off processed food onto either a custom ProLongevity food plan or keto releases people from snacking. Can you explain to people who don't know about how that's driven, what causes people to continually binge and snack on processed food?
Sadly, what's driving all of this is the food industry profits. Food industry knows that if they can get you to snack regularly, that's another highly processed, highly profitable food for them. And it's the opposite of healthy. We're not designed to snack. Just think about the fact that our hunter-gatherer forebears wouldn't have been eating McDonald's and a Diet Coke and Doritos and Pizza Hut and takeaways. What we're adapted for is feast and famine. And that's the whole key to a healthy existence. Eat when you're hungry. Don't eat when you're not, and allow your hormones to balance naturally. And that means you have to have periods of eating and periods of not eating. So what I generally do with my clients is I get them to collect their food into 3 meals a day with no snacks in between. Then the next thing I get them to do is to make 12 hours of a gap. So 12 hours between the last thing they eat the previous day and the first thing they eat the next day. And that on its own, without changing calories or feeling hungry or any type of diet, can immediately produce benefits because you're optimizing your hormones.
Graham, that's brilliant. And as somebody who's been on ProLongevity, I can honestly say that the biggest thing I feared was feeling hungry, and a lot of the diets I tried in the past really tortured you. But what happens is if you control your insulin levels properly with what Graham's advising, then you get rid of being a prisoner to hunger. So Graham, once again, thank you very much.
Pleasure, John. Good to see you.
If you're interested to find out more, then please do join the Facebook and LinkedIn group. It's a growing community. There are lots of top experts there, news, both online events and special guides, and hopefully will give you a longer, richer, healthier life. Bye for now.
Bye now.